Pregame.com.
We have a rematch here of the biggest blowout in the history of the conference championship games. This is Brad Powers in the Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. We're talking college football action on Fox Saturday night. The Big Ten championship game. You got the Big Ten East champ Ohio State against the Big Ten West champ Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's like Volvos in the movie Crazy People. They're boxy, they're boring, but they're good. Who do you like?
I like the Volvos here. Let's take Wisconsin plus the 6.5. It's all about their defense. It's just too dang good, guys, to get any margin on. They're only allowing 12 points per game on the season, and they've been very consistent. No team's offense has scored more than 17 points on them in any of their 12 games. I'm sitting next to a Northwestern alumnus here in Fezzik, and yes, Northwestern did score 24 points, but he mentioned that 7 of those points were scored of the non-offensive variety. And let's talk about not being able to get margin on Wisconsin. Go back the last 3 seasons. 38 straight games it's been since a team has beaten Wisconsin by more than 7 points. Not going to happen here. Give me the Badgers plus the points.
And let's talk Buckeyes in big games, especially away from the horseshoe. They can be painfully conservative. How many quarterback draws can you run with the game on the line, right?
Yeah, Michigan State last year on the road are laying huge number. Got to sneak that one out by 1 point. Michigan last year in the horseshoe was a slow start. They don't get anything all the game against Clemson away from the horseshoe. Even this year, flash forward this year, in the horseshoe against Oklahoma, big game, very slow start. Against Penn State, big game, horseshoe, slow start. Away from home, you look at them against Michigan last week, down 14-0. I'm telling you, if they get off to a slow start against this Wisconsin team, this game is going well into the fourth quarter.
Let's talk about one game that did not go well into the fourth quarter, the Big Ten championship game 2014, Buckeyes 59, Wisconsin bagel.
Yeah, I think it's actually working to our favor here because the media narrative that's out there is, hey, Ohio State needs an impressive win, and they can duplicate. They can make that surprise run to the college football playoff. These are 2 entirely different teams. Let's start off with Wisconsin. Their head coach at the time, Gary Anderson, had 1 foot out the door. He's named the Oregon State coach like 3 days later, so I don't know if he was fully focused. This year's coach, who's been the coach the last 3 years, Paul Chryst, is an alumnus of Wisconsin, so I think it's going to mean a lot to him. He's going to remind those players of that 59-0. And the game that has more meaning, these 2 teams just played last year with a lot of the similar players, and it was an overtime game that Wisconsin could have won outright.
Let's talk power ratings. I know you have the Buckeyes as the better team. How much better?
Only about on a neutral 4.5 points. I have them number 3 in the country. Wisconsin's number 8. Even if I give the Buckeyes a half point because they might have a little bit more fan support in the stands and it's a little closer to home, I can't get this number above 5.
Your second key handicap.
Let's talk about, the distractions that Ohio State has. If I want to back Ohio State, I want to be, 100% ready to go to lay a touchdown against a really good defense. Well, I got a question mark on the offense side of the ball. Their quarterback, JT Barrett, didn't finish last week's game against Michigan. He could barely walk, pulled himself out of the game. And then on the defense side of the ball, their defensive coordinator, Greg Schiano, on Sunday, he's named the Tennessee head coach. Wait a minute. Twitter uproar. Boosters get involved. He's not the Tennessee head coach. Now it's coming out that he might sue Tennessee because of what happened. I mean, is he focused on the game plan here against Wisconsin? I'm saying not so much, hence the value again.
He didn't look that focused on the game plan against Michigan. Frankly, I still see Michigan receivers running wide open. O'Korn can't hit them. Going back to the offense, Barrett, I think we have to lower the power rating for Ohio State. The fact that he had to leave the game, I think, means there's some kind of significant injury to his leg. I would personally lower it 2 points. And I got to ask you, if it has to be Haskins, it probably would be a huge adjustment. But he played so well against Michigan, still a pretty big downgrade, right?
Yeah, if you're downgrading him 2 points at the start of the game, then I think you need to downgrade a couple extra points. But I got to be honest with you, I was impressed with Haskins. He came into that game last week. They're down 20-14. He's on the road, big rival. They outscore Michigan 17-0. And Urban Meyer's offense pretty much plug and play. So not a significant downgrade, you'd think, from coming from a top 10 quarterback in the country.
I got to tell you, I really like this pick. I am waiting for a +7 to materialize, and then I am rushing to the window to lock it in. Let's make it official.
Yeah, let's make this official. And guys, you should listen to Fez's advice here. If you want to bet Wisconsin, probably wait till game day. I think you will get a +7. I still like them at +6.5. Basically, their defense is too good to get margin on. They only allow 12 points per game, and no one in the last 38 games has beaten Wisconsin by more than 7 points. On the other side, Ohio State's got 2 major question marks: the health of their quarterback, JT Barrett, and their defensive coordinator, Greg Schiano. With all this Tennessee drama that's been going on this week, I'm not sure he's been fully focused on the game plan. Add it all up, take the Badgers plus the points. More videos at pregame.com.